everybody, good afternoon. Welcome to Bull City Hangout, 11:30, the last day of November. Where does the time go? Anyway, I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟, that's Durham's online community paper. And with Bull City Hangout, basically, I tell you what's happening today in Durham. And then I invite you to join me on camera, shoot the breeze, share information, etc. So let's get started with the school tools page, as always on weekdays. Just want to let you know that, of course, the Durham Public Schools and also Durham County, they have their own programs for feeding young people ages 18 and under, where you can pick up free lunches from many different places, including specific bus stops. And that's how far they're taking it to make sure that the young folks get fed. So you can read all about that on the school tools page. Also, if you, like, for example, have a disability or whatever, and you honestly just can't pick up lunches, you might be able to connect and have them bring the lunches to you. So check that out on the school tools page. All righty, and let's go to the word page. That is the government and nonprofit information page in the Durham 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟. This is the last day for the Festival of Nations. That is, the Durham sister cities, all 9, are having, because it's not in person, everything's online. So the 3rd annual Festival of Nations is on request online. So you can click on that link and watch cultural programming from our sister cities, of course, including Durham. And they are Zhuzhou, China; 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟𝗟, Costa Rica; Durham, England, of course; Kavala, Greece; Toyama, Japan; Celaya, Mexico; Sibiu, Romania; Kostroma, Russia; and Arusha, Tanzania. And one day, it would be so cool if I could visit all of our sister cities. That would be hell. But anyway, so today, again, is the last day that you can enjoy this Festival of Nations. Hats off to sister cities, because they really came through. Instead of giving up and just saying, oh, we'll do it next year, they came up with something really creative. All right, now let's go to Durham Can. Let's see what's going on with them. It's called the Turkey Trot for Justice, and that is a fundraiser for Durham Can. CAN stands for Congregations, Associations, and Neighborhoods. So instead, of course, meeting all together and walking in a specific park, they're inviting you, if you'd like to help them raise money. They help train, leadership training, dealing with faith and democracy. So if you'd like to help with that, you can walk at your convenience wherever you like, and just keep track of how far you walk. You can take donations, okay, like whatever amount per mile, however you want to do it. You can, of course, give money, and you can encourage your neighbors and friends, family, to also contribute. Okay, and this is only through, it's been going on since the Tuesday before, last week, before Thanksgiving, until Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, December 2nd, is the last day to participate in the Turkey Trot for Justice for Durham Can. All righty, read about that on the word page. Also on the word page, I'm just going to mention a couple of things that you can, you can get help from the city. For example, the city has the Water Hardship Fund, okay, for those who have fallen behind in their water bill and need some help. And then DSS, Social Services, they have the HOPE program, that is the Housing Opportunity and Prevention of Evictions program for people whose jobs have been affected by COVID-19, and then maybe they got laid off or whatever, fell behind in the rent, whatever. Get help from the county for up to 6 months with not only your rent, but also your utilities. Be sure to read about that on the word page. All righty, let's see. I think that's it for the word page. Okay, let's go to the health page. I just want to point out that this is production week, so you'll notice I still have November information on certain pages. So all week I will be turning over November information, turning it over to December and early January. So be sure to send in your information. I'd love to get the information from you. All righty, let's go to the health page, to your health. And be sure to sign up for the mental wellness and emotional support virtual talks. These are group talks Super helpful. The hashtag is hashtag Start Speaking, Stop Stigma. Read about that on the health page. I think their first talk will be next Monday on the 7th at 8 o'clock. So be sure to read about that on the health page. All righty. And someone was pointing out that certain people would have to go into quarantine because they traveled for Thanksgiving and now they have to quarantine and they're worried about their bills and whatnot. The state might be able to help you out because there is a program by the NC Department of Health and Human Services. So here's how they can help. They can help with, let's see, rent or mortgage, certain bills, medical care, child care, and other living expenses, home delivered groceries, meals, medications, transportation. So read about that on the health page and see if you might want to sign up for that, just in case you do have to quarantine for a couple of weeks and be cut off from your family. All righty. Let's see. Oh, of course, on the health page, which is where I am, I have the COVID-19 test information for you, different places that you can go to get tested for COVID-19, including OptumServe Health Services. They have free testing. So with today being Monday, they're testing at J.J. Henderson Towers. You don't have to actually live there, but that's where the tests are being administered. So from 9 until 4:30 on Mondays. And then Oldham Towers, that's another senior place, and that's also 9 until 4:30. And again, you don't have to actually live there. All righty. And then just to let you know, Tuesdays, it's El Centro Hispano in the Lakewood Shopping Center, McDougal Terrace, and also Oxford Manor. So El Centro, let's see, that's 10 to 6. The MAC, 9 to 4:30, and Oxford, 9 to 4:30. Read about that on the health page. All righty, I think that's it for the health page. Let's go to the senior page. It's called Senior Scope. See what's new. Senior pharmacist, of course, if you're old, like I am, I should say age 55 and up. What do they say? Age is just a number. But anyway, Medicare counseling is offered for free as senior pharmacists. The only hitch is that it's no longer in person, of course. So they can still give that wonderful help that they do, and helping to give Medicare counseling. And also there's something else I'm going to tell you about. But they're doing this over the phone and also online. So here's what I want to tell you about. You might consider reevaluating your choice for the Medicare Part B provider. And here's why. What happens is every year, the different providers, they switch their medications around in terms of what they're covering, what they're not covering, what they're going to drop, etc. Hey, Guy Cook, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Let me put it, whoa, I hope to see you before then. My goodness. But thank you, Guy. Hope you can join me today or whenever. No pressure, no pressure. All righty. So where was I? So what happens is they don't really announce. They don't say, oh, we're not going to carry Aricept this following year. They don't make those announcements. So senior pharmacists can help you look at the different programs and make sure that your provider is still providing the medications that you take, okay? You don't want to find out after the fact. You don't want to find out next month when you're charged $45 for something instead of $5. Yeah. So check out senior pharmacists. Let them help you. You have up to December 7th, probably up to the end of the day of December 7th, which is next Monday, to check that out. All righty. That's it for the senior page. And I will just go ahead and mention that the Durham Center for Senior Life, they're bringing more and more programs online. So you can go to the Senior Scope page and see the different events. Right now, I do have still mostly November events, but I will be updating that today. All right. Okay, let's go to the Let's Go page. That is the calendar of events page and see what's happening. Now, Secretary Robert Wilkie, he'll be leading a U.S. Veterans Administration Community Town Hall meeting. It's going to be today from 1 until 2. Please register in advance. You only have, 50 minutes. So you don't want to be late for that one if you want to attend. So they're going to have an online Q&A session for military veterans and their families, caregivers, etc. So I know there's going to be lots of different topics that you might want to ask about. So again, that's going to be today from 1 until 2 online. Okay, New Visions of Africa restaurant, free snacks and meals from 3 until 6. Wear a mask. They're on Fayetteville Street next to W.D. Hill. Also, Legal Aid NC, they're hosting Home. That's housing on Monday evening from 4 until 5, where they talk about what you want to talk about regarding different housing issues, including evictions, etc. Also this evening, an African dance class led by Tony Hall and also Ivy Birch from the Hayti Heritage Center. They're going to be at the Hayti, but we're going to be at home. So this is going to be live streamed so that you can join online. There's a weekly fee of $5. Read about that on the Let's Go page. Sign up and attend, because what they do like deep breathing, conditioning, and African movement. And that starts at 6:30, from 6:30 until 7:30. Alrighty, and speaking of movement, Marva's Fun has her beginner's line dance class. It's free, it's on Zoom from 7 until 8. Also, the Empower Dance Studio and the LGBTQ Center of Durham, they're co-hosting the 90s Cardio Funk Dance Party. This is for everybody now. You don't have to be of any particular whatever. Everybody can go. It's from 7:30 until 8:30. You can register online. This is an online event. Pay whatever you can, whatever you want via Cash App, etc. So that's on the Let's Go page as well. Now, tomorrow morning, the Durham County Sheriff's Office, of course, they have their rabies vaccination clinic from 9:30 until 11. $10. Get your pet vaccinated against rabies, because, you know, it's kind of dangerous. Oh, one more thing. Oh, Durham Technical Community College has these wonderful info sessions because they have programs that lead directly into jobs. And, you know, a lot of people have lost their jobs or bumped down to part-time or whatever. Here's the thing. Tomorrow, from 10 until 11, there's a free occupational therapy assistant information session. And this is where you learn about the occupational therapy. That's where people come out of the hospital, and sometimes they need someone to come by their house and help them with their movement. And my dad had his knee replaced. Someone came by the house for a certain number of weeks or months, I can't remember, and helped him with his mobility and how to learn how to walk with his new knee. Alrighty, so you can learn about that. Again, it's going to be from 10 until 11. The info session is free, but basically they want to tell you about the program where you can learn all about occupational therapy assistant. That's a profession, okay? And these programs usually lead directly into jobs. So this is a really good way to get up new skills and get a new job. Durham Tech has other info sessions coming up. I will be sure to tell you about it. I was trying to get somebody on today, but they don't know me, so they probably weren't. But anyway, hopefully I can convince someone from Durham Tech. I've been trying to get somebody on. But anyway, they're going to have nursing. Actually, they're going to have something coming up soon. Yeah, nursing. There's a nursing information session coming up in a couple of days. Anyway, they're really gearing up. Oh, and let me tell you, Thursday, Building and Skills Trade Program Information Session. We're talking about the trades, you know, the people who build the buildings, the carpenters, and who else? I don't even know. The computer integrated machining. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds really impressive. So anyway, Durham Tech is a great place to go when you need the skills to get you the job, if you know what I'm saying. So I don't want to go on and on about it, but I'm a really huge fan of Durham Tech. So there you go. I think that's pretty much it. The weather is weird. Today is really, really weird. It feels really nice out. It is 66. It's still drizzling, I think. Yeah, it's just drizzling, just a little bit. But in a short while, we're going to get crazy weather. It's going up to 68. And according to my app, we're going to have thunderstorms, high winds, and then cloudy all afternoon. So it's going to be kind of crazy. There you go. Tomorrow is going to be, you're not going to believe this, it's dropping down to 46. At least the sun will come out. But yeah, 46 is for us. That's pretty cold. Speaking of cold, oh, look at this. Guy Cook has a wonderful message for us. Let's see what's new in Washington State with Guy R. Cook from the Guy R. Cook Report. Whoa. Hey, Guy, I had to click a couple of times there to make that work. How are you?
Well, older. Just
we're
it happens every day. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
You're talking about the weather. It's going to get down to 46. I wish it would get up to 46 here. Because right now, I don't. Can you see my phone?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 39 right now.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, there we go.
39.
Yeah, and it's Rake the Leaves Day. I started this weekend, got them about half done, and then it rained this morning. Thank goodness. No, not. I was being facetious. At
39, that's almost like sleet, isn't it? Sleet.
Yeah, no, it's got to get colder. It's got to get a few degrees colder to be bad. It's just going to be really cold and wet.
And humid too, probably, since you're.
No, we live in the desert. Western Washington is humid, but where I live, 300 miles to the east, is beyond the mountain range that contains all the moisture on that side of the state.
Oh, okay.
We're like, think of like a high desert plateau. Like,
I got you. Now, what I've been doing is reclaiming my backyard. So I cut down bushes and trees. And when I say trees, I mean saplings, weeds.
Yes.
I'm trying to get my backyard, trying to wrest it back from nature. Because, my yard has been overrun. So I'm gonna
that means
get it back.
You potentially could put in a garden.
I have 4 planting beds. Yeah, I have 4 beautiful planting beds.
There you go.
Who knows what they look like now? My yard has been pretty much abandoned for the past few years.
Okay.
So who
get a
knows?
wheelbarrow to haul it off.
We'll see. I don't even know what's back there. I can't even see them yet. Right now, I'm clearing my way to the planting beds.
I see. We're talking overrun jungle conditions exist.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll get you a machete for Christmas then, so you can finish whacking the bushes.
But thankfully, it's not too much for one person. It's been done before. When we first moved here, the backyard was the way it is now. Actually, it's much worse. It was much worse. But
let me share a story. This is not a technical story. You gave me this heart-to-heart the other day. Don't always on Facebook, they had this story about these guys in Alaska that were running new power lines. Okay. Have you ever seen them do that where they put the big high tension wires on the pole? They go down the road like forever, a long ways, and then the lines are hanging loop like a loose clothesline.
Wow.
And then they have a big, huge machine that cranks it up just like a fishing reel almost and pulls all the lines up tight on the pole. Okay.
That sounds pretty cool.
Well, even cooler. So in Alaska, during the moose rut season, when the male mooses are all kind of crazy anyway, this moose got tangled up in the cable.
Oh no.
Oh, big moose. We're talking a 60-inch across, 5 feet across rack, and he's cranked up to the top of the power pole. I got pictures off of Facebook.
What?
Yes. So all that the power guys knew was there's an abnormal amount of tension on the lines. Why is it, they got this 1,800 pound, whatever he weighed. I'm sure it was close to a ton.
An animal up in the air.
By his antlers, still alive. So they said, well, how are we going to get this done? So they went and unwound the cable so it lowered the moose back down to the ground. And he left older and wiser.
At least he wasn't electrocuted.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they don't turn the power on until they got everything like it's supposed to be. But
Boy,
that I thought
we have
was
a story to tell when he gets back to the Moose Lodge.
oh yeah, yeah. He's going to go to the Moose Lodge and hey, guess what happened to me today? So that's
now with you living all the way northwest like that. So are caribou the same as mooses? Because I was thinking a caribou is a Canadian moose.
No. Caribou is a caribou. They're a separate, unique species, unique to themselves. They're not like where you live in North Carolina. You got little tiny white-tailed deer. Okay. We have those, which, you know, I don't think I'd ever shoot a whitetail. They're too little. I mean, a big whitetail would be 150 pounds. That's a huge whitetail.
Okay. Some people do go deer hunting.
And then they got the next species bigger is mule deer, and mule deers can get up 300 pounds probably.
I don't know if we have those.
Yeah, I don't think you have those back there unless you got mountains. I don't think they would hang out.
Well, there. Appalachians to the left, to the west.
Yeah, but those are pretty rounded off. They're not. They're more like foothills, aren't they?
They look like mountains to me when I see them on TV.
I mean,
I'm from Chicago, which is flat.
So. Okay, so you've seen the Rocky Mountains, right?
On TV.
Okay. Do they look like that?
No, not really.
Okay. They look like big green hills. That's what I'm thinking. I call those foothills or baby mountains. They're like worn down. So mule deer ain't gonna happen there, but caribou, they live way up north, like in Labrador, Saskatchewan, way up in the Northern Territories in Canada. Yeah. And
that's why I thought they were Canadian.
You've seen the cartoon pictures of reindeer with Santa Claus, right?
Sure.
That's a caribou. That's what caribou are reindeer, basically.
Okay.
And a moose, they've got those huge antlers.
Okay.
And
so a moose could beat up a caribou.
Oh God, I guess so. They don't ever tango, I'm sure. Caribou saw a moose coming at him with a stick in his hand, he'd leave.
Wow.
Yeah, that would not be a long-lasting fight, because one moose is about the size of about 4 caribou.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're nowhere near the same.
So how close have you gotten to one?
A moose? Never.
Yeah.
I've never been close to a moose or a caribou. Mule deer I've hunted. Whitetail I let get away. I've seen those in the wild, but not something we'd eat.
I saw a YouTube video where this guy, he was with his friends. They were in their car driving around somewhere in the west. They came across a moose, and he wanted to take a selfie. And his friend said, "No, get back in the car."
Yeah.
And the thing was like they said 50 feet away or whatever.
Yeah.
And he figured, well, you know,
that'll give you a 3-step head start and run like heck. Yeah.
You know what happened? He couldn't run fast enough back to the car. Yeah. He got killed. That thing ran so fast.
Oh, a moose. The dangerous thing about moose is that they can switch on the "I'm mad at everybody" switch like that, like in a snap, and then you're done.
What happened because the moose was drinking water.
Right.
And we figured, oh, this is a nice, heartland scene, and just get this quick selfie,
Yeah, they're dangerous. Moose and buffalo don't mess with.
Yeah.
Like you've seen the Wild West movies where they have the buffalo. If you ever come across those, stay in your car, drive away slowly. Don't do no selfies out the window. Don't mess with them.
I guess they can ram your car. I mean, I saw a YouTube video where an animal was chasing a car. I was like, what's he going to do with the car if he catches it?
Yeah, they're good. They've got a huge rack of horns. They could do damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, are you going to share my screen? I saved that picture. This special, for your show.
Thank you. Let's see. Oh,
this was provided. Colorado, California, and what other state? One other state, I forget. The 14 states that make up U.S. Route 6. I put this image on there. I got it emailed this morning. I said, I'll save that for Pat. So there you have it. Now, here's the question. You being a traveler or whatnot, in Massachusetts, instead of using this image that said Merry Christmas, they said Happy Christmas.
Oh, like in England. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm going, I wonder why. And then I started thinking, well, Massachusetts, maybe that's just a holdover from the colonial days. And then
I think they're just showing off.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we're European.
Mm.
Hey. But if you say Happy Christmas, you don't want to say Happy New Year. I guess they say Joyous New Year.
No, they say Happy New Year. The graphic
Happy Christmas and Happy New Year.
The graphic from Massachusetts came in, Happy Christmas, and then in text below that, and Happy New Year. So,
yeah,
go figure.
I'm not impressed.
Well,
but thank you. That's very nice. They also say Father Christmas instead of Santa Claus. I don't know about Boston, but in England for sure.
I think so. I think you might be right about that.
Father Christmas.
Now, have you got all your shopping done? Because you know what today is, right?
Yeah, I told my family that Christmas will be a little late because I haven't had any ad revenue for the year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not nearly as comfortable this year as I was last year.
Well,
so it's gonna be late.
How did we break the ad environment? Oh, we had COVID pandemic happen.
Exactly.
So why would you advertise, come on down to the store when everybody else in the world is telling you to stay home? But
yes.
Yeah.
But I'm actually opening up advertising again, starting this month. So yeah.
I thought of that. You were talking about advertising the other day, and I thought, it kind of stuck in my head. And I was surfing the web looking something, and components of a media kit for digital marketing, separate and unique from media kits like you'd get traditionally for print media.
I need to look at that because I need to send stuff out to different entities.
One of the things the agencies are going to ask you is what software do you use to deliver their ad banners? Are you using Google AdWords? Are you using some other third party?
Oh, no, it will be embedded in the Durham Skywriter, of course.
Right. Yeah. But you're going to have a JavaScript. Is it custom made that you did by yourself? They're going to want to know because the guy that writes you the check and says, buy this advertisement is going to be mission driven, and induced to do so by the marketing guys that read your media kit information. So if your media kit says, oh, we're going to do this and this and this, and you've marked off on their checklist, well, do you support landscape banners? Do you support the skyscraper size? Do you support 250 by 250? How many clicks do you get on the ads you're running now? That kind of stuff. Look at digital media kit. It's a separate, unique.
Okay, animal. I'll do that. Digital media kit. Okay.
Did you get your about.me?
Not yet. It's production. It's production week, and I need to do that. I will do that. Yeah.
Right underneath of that list you just wrote down. Yeah. Digital media kit. About.me. I got to tell you, I continue to be impressed with those guys. I made some changes to the description. Like instead of just saying, well, I'm a web developer, I live in Walla Walla. And they said, oh, that's too short. I said, well, that's what I do. Yeah. They wanted it to be wordier to make more sense of it to the search engines. I guess the search engine can't paint with a big, broad umbrella. Everybody that's a web developer. So you got to go in there and put in stuff like, I'm a web developer, I've been doing it for 20 plus years.
Oh, that's cool. So the little short, pithy description.
Well, just the description that puts you onto the shelf, imagine it, if you will, that says, I'm a web developer. What sets me apart from all the other guys on that same shelf in the store so that they take my brand of web development? Maybe they want somebody that's close to them and they live in Walla Walla and they like to do face-to-face. Yeah. I do face-to-face with Whereby, so I'm not, if they speak English, have good bandwidth, I can do it. Yeah. But
now, in my case, sometimes when I have to describe my business, I just use my tagline, Durham NC's online community paper, But if they want a longer description, that's good, because that gives me the opportunity to mention TV Skywriter, my interview show, and Bull City Hangout, my announcement show. So that's cool. That's cool.
And at the same time, you have 3 different names. To me, I'm thinking Baskin Robbins flavors of ice cream. That's 3 different unique descriptions that you could include. Like you could say, well, Bull City Notes, that's part of the environment covered by Durham Skywriter, but we produce that as a separate, unique apart, where we tell moose stories and blah, blah, blah. You know, we just talk about what's good for the neighborhood and so forth. So
yeah, I basically just say that's my daily announcement show.
Right.
Then when I tell people about TV Skywriter, that's my formal interview show.
Yeah, and you might interview new authors or did you watch 60 Minutes last night?
I haven't seen 60 Minutes for decades. Oh my God.
Last night on 60 Minutes, they talked about the guy from England that's doing the late show on CBS. You know, the guy that does carpool karaoke? Oh,
the guy that was on Doctor Who. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah. James Corden.
Yeah. He's really, really, really come a long ways. He said when they first started out, they were like in 8 countries besides the U.S. Now they're in over 100 countries.
Okay. Was he? I wonder if he was doing that show before or after he was on Doctor Who. Because I had not known who he was when he was with Doctor Who. He guest starred. He was a guest
appearance.
Yeah, for I think 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Just 2 short episodes. I don't even know if he was well known back then. I have no idea.
Yeah. They have traced his history back to when he was a teenager.
Oh, okay.
So if you can stream it, that'd be a good watch. It's something to do. You know, you can't code the Durham Skywriter all day. You got to take a break.
Oh yeah. You know how so many people are participating in what they call it, a cancel culture. It's been revealed that this gentleman, I think his name is James Corden, that I guess people were trying to replace Ellen. I guess that Ellen DeGeneres has been so mean. I guess it's been pointing out how mean she is. And then some people were saying,
she's off stage, she's mean. Yeah, I've heard that.
And they were saying, oh, well, let's replace her with James Corden. But then people were pointing out, well, he's actually mean too, behind the scenes.
No way. He doesn't seem mean.
But you know, when you're a star and you're deferred to ad nauseum, I think that can make you a little bratty. I'm not sure. I don't know anybody who's like that, who's hit it big like that.
I don't think that James has ever put himself in a position, this is as good as I can get. I don't think so. I think he's always trying to, the impression I got is he's trying to evolve it and make it bigger and better than it was last week. Like
I saw some footage of him being really ugly and disrespectful, but again, I guess I don't care enough about these people. I don't know these people. I really don't care if they're nice or not. I don't watch their shows. I don't know them. I watch these YouTube videos while I'm working, and they're mildly amusing. I don't know if any of this stuff is true, and it doesn't matter because I will probably
if it's on the internet, you can pretty much consider it to be not true. I mean, so many of those YouTube videos, I sit and think for a minute and said, yeah, that was staged. They put the ducks in a row and said, okay, we're going to do this.
This particular,
try to make it look like it just happened.
Well, this particular incident with Corden was actually a live broadcast. It was one of those award shows. And I think he was really ugly toward Patrick Stewart, the guy from Star Trek.
Yeah. So, I know who Patrick Stewart is.
Oh.
Gosh.
I should say Patrick Stewart from 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟. How's that?
Oh.
When he had hair. But, my sister...
Spock would say fascinating.
Fascinating. My sister and I were just talking about 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗧. I don't know if you ever watched that back in the 70s.
No.
It was corny. It was a wonderful Greek tragedy
in the 70s,
production from PBS.
Yeah.
And that's the first time that I think most people saw Patrick Stewart. So,
no,
anyway.
I've been watching a lot of B movies. I've been reading a lot of books. I'm in this like the 7th book of this. It's a series, and I'm up to number 7 now.
Has it occurred to you to write a book, Adventures in Domain Hosting?
No.
The strangest domains you've ever come across, or websites?
No, the book that I want to do is the sequel to my great Aunt Marie. Sometime back in the, I don't know when, wrote a book about a zillion pages long about family history that goes way back to like my great grandmother, and they lived here, and then they moved to this place, and they leased the land so they could grow potatoes, and this guy broke his leg, and on and on and on, family history. Well, it stopped, and I think that the outline needs to be generated to continue on.
Yeah.
And what's bad is that they've passed away. And so there's nobody to say, well, what happened after this?
And then what happened? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, chapter 2 is going to be a very imaginative piece.
Put chapter 2 to come and then start with chapter 3.
Oh, yeah.
Because my granddad wrote a book, an autobiography that ended in the early 60s. He was old, but I guess he didn't realize that he was going to live to 103. And so actually my sister and I are considering completing the story.
Oh, yeah, you should.
Yeah, from the 60s to the 80s.
I mean, the descendants are going to appreciate it. I appreciated the heck out of them. Because James, it was handwritten, okay? And James, he's the son of Aunt Marie. He transcribed it all into text and made it into a PDF format.
Nice.
So I could download it and read it at my
leisure.
Yeah.
Nice.
So tell Sis that you got a PDF in your future.
Actually, I retyped my granddad's book and then retyped his autobiography. And then, of course, it's all obsolete because this was, I don't even know what computer I used. I have the printouts, thank goodness, because I actually proofread it as well.
Right.
So I'll just have to retype it by hand again. That's okay.
Well, if it's already typed once.
Yeah. But who knows?
There's a technology called optical character recognition.
Okay, I might try that because I've heard of that.
OCR is going to look at it and say that's an A, and so I'm going to put an A on the new page.
Because I'm thinking,
OCR's come a long ways.
I probably used PageMaker, which is the predecessor to what I'm using now, which is InDesign. And they're related, so who knows? But anyway, I'm going to get back to work. Now, you said I should go to Pinterest and look up Digital Media Kit. Is that where you saw it?
Well, I would go to Google. I don't remember seeing it on Pinterest. Has probably got elements, but just search for elements of a digital media kit. Look at some of the big
boys,
providers of digital media, like Google. Okay. And they're going to say, well, this is what we can do for you. Okay. And then model your media kit after that, if you're going to use them as the delivery system.
Yeah, I need to do that this week.
Yeah. Find out which puppy in that litter is pick of the litter for a delivery system. And I don't know that it's Google AdWords. I just threw that out there as a name that I know that you've heard. Yeah. And go from there.
Yeah. I mean, in my case, the ads are embedded, right there in the publication itself, in the Durham Skywriter. And later, I guess next year or so, when I start my interview show up again, I will be looking for sponsors probably for that. So, yeah. So we'll see.
Well, if you interview authors, I would think their publishers would be, there's probably some promotional budget that they've got for, when James Corden writes a new biography, let's say we'll use that for a name because we talked about him so much, then you would contact the agency that's responsible for promotion of the products and just say, hey, I'm going to have James Corden on. You got a budget for that? Oh, you don't? Well, then we're not going to have him until.
Oh no, I'm NPR style. I don't charge people for interviews. I don't like when people charge for interviews. No.
Yeah, but you're going to sell the ads, aren't you?
The ads, yeah, but not
okay.
for the interview. I mean, if they don't have money for the interview, no, I don't charge for the interview.
Well, no,
but
I'm not saying to have money for the ads in your show.
I see what you say. I see what you mean now, because I was approached by a company once, and they sent me free product, and then I talked them into also taking out a one-time ad. Yeah, so I did an interview, which I did not charge for, but they did have in their budget money for an ad. So I know what you're saying. So I would never, if they said no, they didn't have any money in their budget, I still would have done the interview, of course.
Oh yeah.
But I did also enjoy the fact,
but the content, and excuse me, the content is what I consider to be the space or the amount of time that's used between the messages that pay for the rent. Because you got to buy a machete for that jungle out back. So there's got to be commercial messages. Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, you can do an in-house. You could put in a message about Bull City Notes is happening every day after I get done with the Durham Skywriter. If you want to find out what's good for the neighborhood in Durham, or if you just want to talk, come down to Bull City Notes.
Sounds good. I had to think of I had to think about that. It sounds like a good start of a very useful announcement.
Well, it's good if you link back to each other in your empire. Like I just did a thing. Now I'm getting to talk about tech. I got to stop.
That's good.
Inbound links, if it's coming from a domain that's got good recognition. Like, remember when I talked about Google My Business?
Yeah.
Okay, if you
I need to redo that. Yeah.
Okay, you set up a page on Google My Business for Durham Skywriter.
Yeah.
And then you put a link into that page on Google that says, hey, go check out Bull City Notes Bazinga, or Bull City Hangout, I guess we're supposed to call it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I mentioned it. I probably did, but I'm going to check my Google My Business and kind of reconfigure it, revisit it.
Yeah.
And like I said, my interview show will be revived in January, so I'll probably start mentioning that as well throughout the month of December. So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guy. So I guess I will see. Eileen is here. Eileen has been having her name just bandied about all over the place. Hey, Eileen, if you want to join.
Hey, what's your shirt say? Is that a Durham Skywriter shirt?
Durham Skywriter.
I saw the top of the jet.
Yeah, Durham Skywriter. And
now,
Eileen.
Did you go to Cafe Press and get that, or?
No, actually, Printful.
Oh, okay.
Printful. Or is it Print Aura? Because it's two different companies. I think Printful. But let me just tell Eileen real quick. I was looking for tutorials on Video Ask because I want to start sending out some queries via Video Ask. So I saw this lady. I'm like, I don't know this lady, this watcher. And then she said she heard about Video Ask from Eileen Smith. And I was like, oh my goodness, who doesn't know Eileen? So, Eileen says she's at work.
She's not at work. She's on the kitchen table.
No, that's where everybody's office is nowadays. My kitchen table right over there. That's my office.
You're
probably taking a little coffee break.
Section B, the B table. Okay. Well, like you said. Oh, see that right there?
See what?
That little orange lanyard.
Oh, behind you, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the lanyard I'm using to archive the pictures that I'm archiving that Mom took, and I'm scanning.
Okay. Oh, you're putting them together on a thumb drive.
Yeah. So the thumb drive that I had, pretty big, 32 gigabyte. I thought, wow, I'm going to put a lot of pictures on that.
Man.
Well, the other day when they had the big sales and stuff on Amazon.
Yeah.
I got a 256 gigabyte thumb drive.
Oh my God.
For like less than $30, 28 something with the tax and everything. because I live in Washington State, and
Would
Amazon.
you trust all that on a hard drive, on a thumb drive, though, and not a hard drive?
I have it in the cloud on Google and on the thumb drive and on the instance of, well, if the thumb drive ever burns up in a fire, I can get it back off of Google. Everything that's on the thumb drive.
That's actually really smart, because I was trying to figure out what I should do about the thousands of photos I have on my Flickr account. Many of those pictures, I've deleted them off of my camera, and it's the only place that they can be found. So I might do that too. Put them out in the cloud. And actually, I want to buy a separate hard drive and put all of my photos on that one hard drive. And the cloud. So,
okay.
Yeah, and the cloud. I mean, very important 3 words here, and the cloud. Because, because after I go, I don't know if anybody's going to care about my pictures, but I have a feeling that the family pictures,
if they have a way to get to them, that's what I'm concerned with. Because like I've got stuff in the Google Cloud. Well, what if they, like the other day I read something that starting in June, Google is going to charge for picture storage. I said, well, yeah, that's not good.
Well, I'm paying. I have a pro account with Flickr, so I'd rather just pay once.
Right.
And like I said, Flickr allows you to have nice captions, and I just like Flickr. FLIC. What's missing? KR. There's no E. Yeah, Flickr without the E. .com.
I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
I'm not sure anybody watching this show. So I'm going to go back to updating the Skywriter, because after all, it's production week. So folks, if you've got any info for the Skywriter, you let me know. You can find me at durhamskywriter@gmail.com. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, Durham Skywriter. I would love that.
And soon to be found on about.me, which is a great contact page.
I wonder if Eileen knows about that.
I'm sure she does.
Probably. Yeah, about.me is like one place where you put all of your social media. So people can know at a glance where you can be found all over social media. And Eileen says that she posted a picture in the group that we both all belong to for you, Guy. Did you see it?
In the group, no, I haven't.
Gotta go to our Facebook group. Okay.
You mean Work in Focus? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I haven't looked at Work in Focus.
Okay.
I've been looking at cool stuff like moose hanging in the air. I mean, he was on
now, did somebody take pictures, Guy? Because a moose hanging in the air on an electrical line by the antlers.
That's the picture I got, was the moose up at the top of the pole. You could see his legs dangling, and just like, how do I get down from here?
I bet he was upset.
I'm surprised he wasn't dead, that he didn't break his neck.
The thing though, okay, sure, they lowered the wire and he gained his footage, but who had the nerve to untangle his
I think that's all that had to be done, was just lowering it down. They didn't talk about tranquilizer darts, and that's what they would have done. If it would have been a situation where they had to touch the moose, they would have used a trank dart.
For sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of trank darts, and then I'll quit telling stories. But when we lived on the coast, and we lived in a suburb of Port Orchard, so there's houses all around. We didn't live like out in the middle of a 40-acre field and the next house, the next farm. It was like a city street.
Okay.
Not unlike where you live now. Okay. The neighbors across the street called Fish and Wildlife because a black bear was up the tree.
Oh, that's an interesting sight, I'm sure.
Okay. Now, remember the part about the houses all around?
Yeah. Okay.
So the Fish and Wildlife guys showed up and they said, no, we don't want to shoot a dart at the bear now because he's too far up the tree. If he fell out of the tree, he'll get hurt. We'll wait till he climbs down. So what do? Oh, we could go down to Manchester and eat lunch.
Hopefully, they went down there before the kids come home from school.
Oh, yeah. They went down and ate lunch, came back expecting the bear to be lower in the tree. The bear is gone. Nobody saw where it went. Gone. it disappeared. It was just like Merlin went up there with his wand and went poof, you're gone, and vanished. So the thing about being a couple 100-pound black bear and people freaking out, well, if the bear doesn't want to be seen, I guess they got a way to do it, because he just boogity gone.
Well, there was a lady who heard some noise in her room, and she was asleep and she heard a noise and sat bolt upright in bed. Was like, whoa, what's that? Turn on the light. There was a coyote in the corner.
Oh God, that would not be good.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah. So anyway,
it's a promise of no more stories. So you can get back to work. Me too.
Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today, Guy. I appreciate it. And everybody, check out the Guy R. Cook Report. Wonderful podcast. There you go.
And if you get in between innings and you're taking a break, I would go check out the Cyber Monday deals.
Yeah, well, it will be worth it. Oh, and also Eileen Smith. Be sure to follow Eileen Smith because she's got tutorials for days. She's the queen of
and
Twitch.
If she doesn't have the tutorial, she'll ask you or she'll answer your questions. Right. That's how I found out about Screencast-O-Matic. I watched a video she did about something. I don't even remember what it was now. I said, wow, that's really cool software. What was that? And she emailed me back like the next day. Like I didn't wait a month to hear back. I figured, she's too busy. She's got all these thousands of followers. Poor little guy like me, she's got no time for me. Well,
I think it's good. And like I said, I have I've watched 2 videos this past week that were inspired by Eileen Smith, which surprised me because these were people I didn't know. Not that I know everybody, but I was like, oh, here's another one mentioning Eileen. So that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool. That lets you know you're really making the rounds when other people are mentioning your name.
Right.
I
well, I'm going to go to Work and Focus and see what this picture is. Make sure I'm old enough to see it. I'm kidding.
Well, I think she's she has an about.me link in the group. Cool. I'm going to take a look at that because I can imagine she's in a bunch of social medias. Okay, Guy, I'll see you another day.
Okay.
Take care. Okay, folks, I guess that's it for me. Let me just show you very quickly. As you know, it is production week. And so you can send information to 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟@gmail.com. It is production week, which means the information from November turns into information for December up to the second week of January. That includes the ads. If you take out an ad in the Skywriter, it will run until the second week of January to make sure that you get all the exposure that you can. So hit me up if you want more information. Also, if you'd like to appear on Bull City Hangout, you don't need an invitation. Just join me. Just click on the link. I provide the link every day. It's a different link every day because that's the way StreamYard works. Each show has its own separate link. So with that, see no more comments. Thank you, Guy, for joining me on camera. Thank you, Eileen Smith, for watching from YouTube. And with that, you have a beautiful day. I will see you tomorrow at noon. Ciao for now.